Happy Tuesday. This is Cody Askins with Secure Agent Mentor and SecureAgentMentor.com. This is our weekly Tuesday podcast, The Telephone Assassin, and what it takes to be a true assassin of the telephone. The telephone is the greatest sales asset ever invented, and if you're not an assassin, and if you're not good, if you don't have the skill, it's probably because you haven't put enough time. Or you haven't perfected your craft, as Will Smith would say. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's put a focus on perfecting your craft. Last week's Telephone Assassin episode 1, which was released last Tuesday, was about the 4 must-dos of the telephone. The 4 things that you must do, that you must be good at, and that you must have, which is you must be enthusiastic, you must have confidence, you must be in control, and you must assume every step of the way. So hopefully you've implemented those specific things into your telephone presentation, into your telephone sales process. And so today we are going to jump into a few of my responses, and specifically my favorite telephone response. Because to be an assassin, you've got to be able to overcome objections with specific responses for whatever you hear. So this is going to be a short podcast episode, but we're going to give you a lot of content. We're going to make it very valuable, and it's going to be about my favorite telephone responses. And so what happens is when you're making calls, you get a lot of, "Hey, I'm not interested. No, thank you. I'm busy. I don't have time. I already have insurance. I can't afford it," etc., 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 right? So when you get those, what do? How do you handle it? And something I like to do, if I can tell that there's a chance of them hanging up or actually, not proceeding with me on the phone, because my goal, whether it's to set an appointment or to make a telesale, I've got to be able to overcome objections. I've got to have responses that I use that are my go-tos that work. And so this specific response that I give for, "Hey, I'm not interested. No, thank you. I changed my mind. I don't have time," whatever, is, "Okay, great. Number 1, agree. First rule of sales is always agree. And so I'm going to agree. Okay, great. Let me ask you a couple of quick questions, and we'll take you off of our list." It's short, it's to the point, and it satisfies what they're wanting after we've agreed. And so once we've agreed, then we got to jump into satisfying what they want, bringing that wall down that they have up at that present moment. And so I find that works really well, because what's funny is if they're not interested, or if they're giving you something that may be true, maybe not true, like a knee-jerk reaction, an excuse, complaint, rebuttal, then they've got a little bit of a wall up. And everyone wants to be taken off of our list. Everyone likes the idea of, "Hey, I want to come off of your list." They love that. And so that's why I do that, to bring their wall down. And so I just simply say, "Okay, great. Let me ask you a couple of quick questions, and we'll take you off of our list." And they say, "Okay." And I move right into, "Okay, looks like you have we've got your first name as John, your last name as Sam, and for your favorite hobby, looks like you like to go fishing. And I do realize you said you're not interested. However, I'm going to be in your area on Tuesday. You did request the information, so I might as well drop it off. I'll be very busy. I won't be able to stay for very long. I really won't have much time, but I did, you did request it, so we do have to bring it to you. Would you prefer 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock on Thursday? 10 or 2? And 80 to 90% of the time, when I use my wall-breaking phrase, which is, "Okay, let me ask you a couple of quick questions and we'll take you off of our list," and then I move into verifying information, acknowledging their objection, and then answering it, and then re-asking for the appointment and getting specific, about 80 to 90% of the time, it works, and I set an appointment when I normally wouldn't if I didn't know what to say and what to do. I would say the large majority of agents, they think that because someone says, "Hey, I'm not interested. No, thank you. I'm too busy. I don't have time. I changed my mind. I already have insurance. I can't afford it." They think that that's a real objection that they need to believe And a lot of agents will just say, okay, well, I'm sorry I called you, and they'll hang up. Well, what kind of assassin is that if you can't handle a little bit of, handle a few objections? I normally get an average of 2 to 3 objections that I have to overcome before I set an appointment. If I'm relentless and I'm enthusiastic, confident, in control, and assuming that they want to see me, then I will get the appointment. When I use these phrases, when I hear objections, 80 to 90% of the time, which is exactly why we do what we do. And to be an assassin, you have to be able to do these things. You have to have specific phrases. And try mine. I had a testimonial yesterday and last week where an agent said, "Hey, I used your favorite telephone response, and to my surprise, it worked. It brought their wall down, and then I went into agreeing, answering, and asking, and I set the appointment." And it was so funny. He was so surprised. He was so excited. He was so jacked up because he's not used to being able to overcome those type of excuses. But hey, when you've got something that works, you use it. If you haven't implemented this into your practice already, or into your calling or appointment setting or teleselling at this point, then you need to. One thing that's important that I want to acknowledge real quick is to be good, you have to have certain phrases. You have to have a good script. You have to know what you're doing. I've got 25 free scripts that my members get access to at my website. It's only $19 a month at this point. It will go up in the near future, but it's only $19 a month right now. And you can get access to tons of my scripts and phone recordings and live videos, actual phone recordings and videos of me setting appointments and selling leads. Or if you don't want to become a member, you can do both. You can become a member, and you can also have me develop a specific script for you, where I'll say, okay, who are you calling? Do you want to set an appointment, or do you want to make a sale? And what are you trying to sell to them? What's the goal of this call? What's the purpose of this call? You give me those details, and right now I think our script development is on sale for only like $90, I think it is. And we will actually build you a specific script that's perfect for getting results in your campaign. Having a good script is a large majority of the battle. Yes, you can get awesome results if you are a telephone assassin, and if you're good, and if you're skilled up, and if you're relentless and aggressive and in control. But if you don't have a good script, it makes it very, very difficult. Even myself, if I don't have a script or a set systematic process with phrases to overcome objections, I would get lost, I would go on a tangent, and I wouldn't set the appointment. And we've even got our telesales final expense and life insurance script that we're selling for $90 as well right now. It's normally $300, where we are closing multiple final expense leads over the phone every single day. One day last week, we closed 5 in one day with that script. I'm telling you, that is the best script that you will have ever seen in your life. And I can promise you, you will want to own it. And if you pair it with our leads, you'll make sales every single day like clockwork. So this is all about having a systematic process, using specific responses, telephone responses, that truly, truly work. You've got to be able to overcome objections, excuses, complaints, and you've got to do it while you're jacked the freak up, while you're enthusiastic, confident, in control, and while assuming and asking assumptive questions. When I ask for the appointment, I can ask one of two ways. And this is something you'll want to write down, because I'm telling you, 99% of insurance agents ask questions the wrong way. I can ask a question about, would you like for me to set an appointment and come see you? Or, I'm going to be in your area. Would you prefer 10 or 2? Or are you more of a morning or an afternoon person? It's assumptively asking them a question and getting them to respond. 99% of agents do not know how to ask questions that get them results. And being a telephone assassin means you have to ask questions that get you results in an assumptive manner. So again, this is episode 2, which is all about my favorite telephone response. Every Tuesday, you got to check out the Telephone Assassin. All right. Also, if you haven't been over my website, go over to go check it out, secureagentmentor.com. We've got tons of content, knowledge, even several pages of free stuff that you need to check out. So go over to secureagentmentor.com, and I can guarantee it will improve your skill. So thanks for listening to the Telephone Assassin, and we'll see you next Tuesday.